Okay, so this is the bonus material that I was talking about. And this is really something that is going to take their learning to the next level. And especially if the child is struggling or even if they're not, but this is going to be something that really does, as I mentioned before, use the most scientific information that we can to help your child be an amazing reader. And this is using crossing the midline technology or strategies. And what that means is that we have a line right down the center of our body. And when we cross the midline, we are now using both sections of our brain. Because when we do so, when we cross that, we are now telling our brain that we have crossed this section and the hemispheres of the brain, and now we are starting to incorporate both of these hemispheres, both the sides of the brain, and it's really going to make a big difference when it comes to learning. Now, a lot of the times we use this with babies because at that particular point in time in their life, that they haven't, their brain hasn't really decided a dominant spot. And so by able to use these cross line or across the midline techniques, you're starting to incorporate and making your brain start making these decisions. Many times we are, right brain dominant or left brain dominant. But by using these crossing the midline techniques as a baby, you are now allowing them to use both sides and starting that process. And so by doing so, we can also use that same techniques or use those same techniques in reading. And so what we can do is we can have the child do techniques that are going to help incorporate both sides of the brain. And this really is going to help the student get this short-term information into their long-term memory. And that is something that really makes a big difference. And it seems so simple, but it is so scientific and so true to be able to allow both sides of the brain to work on a process that is going to make their learning more beneficial. And some of these things are, like I said, very simple. What you do is you have the child use their right arm and cross it over their midline, and then they can do simple phonics, and they can do C-A-T, cat. And as you can see, they've crossed the midline. Now they're visually looking at a word. They're breaking it down. They're decoding it into their phonics and their phonemes, and they're doing C-A-T, cat. See, so now they're in the process of being able to decode the word, but also using both hemispheres of the brain. And then you can switch and you can do B-A-T, bat. And so now, once again, we have crossed the midline, and now we are using our kinetic learning as well. We are using our visual learning from the word on the board or in the book, and we are doing our auditory learning, B-A-T, and we are now incorporating both hemispheres of the brain, and now we are helping the child take the short-term information that they are learning and hopefully making that into a long-term gain. You can also do these with magnetic letters. You can have them, the letters over here on the right or the left, and you can have them cross the midline and make C-A-T, just like that. Now they're crossing the midline, and now they are making letters. They're sounding the letters out. And they can switch the letters. Now that you can make it a B-A-T on the other side, crossing the midline. And so this is something that a lot of people do not have the knowledge of, that really is just a simple, basic technique. But because of this information that we have about the hemispheres and the midline, that just this one little motion of crossing the midline can make a huge difference with beginning readers, struggling readers that just need a little extra something that is going to make the time that you're spending with them just that much more beneficial. And so that was the little bonus tip. If, once again, if this is something that you would like more information about, we can definitely do that. We can make a video about how to use the midline techniques to help with reading. There's so many different amazing things that you can do. This is just the drop in the bucket, as they say. There are so many different things that you can do. We are just trying to give you the most beneficial, like I said, the meat and potatoes of the things to allow you to start the process with your child. And we all know that some of the hardest thing about anything is just getting started. And so now you know how to get started. You know to start with your alphabet. Get that down pat. Start, mix in some phonics and some blends and some diagraphs. Get that multi-sensory tools out there. Get some of those beneficial apps to really help them. Just keep the process going. Using some of these more scientific techniques like the midline cross. All of these things are going to be just one more thing that is going to make your child's life more successful because you have taken the time to help them. So once again, thank you so very much for watching. We appreciate what you're doing for our world. As parents, you are the child's first teacher. You are their first teacher, and by you having the knowledge to help them in this matter, you're making your teacher's life a lot better. And even more so than that, your child's life so much better, so much easier, and they're going to love school. They're going to love reading because they're already good at it. They love it because they're good at it. They can talk about it. They can help people with it. And this is going to be something that really changes their life, because when you have a great reader, the bounds are limitless. The roads can go in any direction. And so I hope this helped you. If it has, we would absolutely love for you to give us a like, a subscribe, a notification. We're going to be doing many videos like this. And once again, if there's something that you would like for me to continue on, or if there's something that's happening in your life or your family's life when it comes to education or it comes to parenting, leave it down below and I would be more than happy to make a video for you guys. Once again, thank you so very much, and we'll see you in the next video.